In this video, we're talking about SOD1A DM and SOD1B in Bernese Mountain Dogs. And if you're a breeder or if you're into genetics, we're going to talk about these and why it's a big deal for your Bernese Mountain Dogs. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Chris with Bernese of the Rockies, and as a breeder, owner, and handler of Bernese Mountain Dogs, genetic testing and quality dogs are very important to me. And so it's one of those things where today I want to talk to you about SOD1A and SOD1B. Now, to kind of lay the groundwork of this, SOD1A, or most people consider, or most people know it as, is DM or degenerative myelopathy. But it's one of those things in Bernese Mountain Dogs. There's also another distinct mutation that you find called SOD1B that you find only in Bernese Mountain Dogs. So of course, degenerative myelopathy is not a fun disease that your dog wants to get, and we're trying to prevent this in our puppies and in our dogs for the future. So it's important to get canine genetic testings. And it's one of those things where I definitely refer you over to Gensol. So you can go to gensoldx.com and you can actually check out some of the canine genetic testings that they have for Bernese Mountain Dogs, but also other dogs too. So even if you are not a Bernese breeder, maybe you have golden retrievers or something else, definitely check out their canine genetic testing because there's so many different things out there that you can test for that's going to help improve your dogs for the future. So, but in this video, we're just talking about mainly about Bernese Mountain Dogs and the SOD1A and the SOD1B and how they kind of correlate together. And again, DM is something that you don't want to mess with. You want to, have puppies that are not at risk and carriers if possible. Clear is the rating that I want to go for. I mean, that's what I shoot for. So it's one of those things where Bernese Mountain Dogs get the SOD1B. Okay, so for us, when we think of DM, we think of SOD1A as a general umbrella for the mutation. But it's one of those things where, with SOD1B, it's one of those things where since we know Bernese Mountain Dogs get it, we need to test for both mutations of the SOD1A gene. So what does that mean for you? Basically, each dog has two sets of genes. One comes from the mom and one comes from the dad. So of course, your dog inherits its genes from its mom and its dad. Trying to be just not very technical here, but just try to make it simple. You're going to have mutations in genes from each of the mom and the dad that's going to go down to the puppy. And it's one of those things where those are what we're trying to check for. We're trying to see which genes and mutations are coming down. That's important so that we know that if we're breeding quality puppies that are going to be at what rating for the SOD1A and SOD1B. As a reputable breeder, or somebody in the Bernese Mountain Dog industry, you want to make sure that, you are testing both the parents to make sure that, the puppies are not inheriting, the bad stuff that you don't want in there. So of course, we're looking at both genes, and both mutations to see, from the mom and from the dad, if either one of those, we're going to have different ratings, okay? So one of them is we have clear. Clear is the best rating you can get. We also have a carrier, and then we have at risk. And those are the three ratings that we're kind of looking at. So it's one of those things where if you imagine, the mom is clear of both and the dad is clear of both, then essentially you're almost, you would hope it's going to be 100% clear of getting the, the possibility of the puppies having DM. Now, granted, I'm sure anything can happen, but that's why we're trying to test for these things so that we make sure that we're, dotting every I and crossing every T, that our puppies are going to be healthy, happy, and great for the adopting families and owners of these dogs. So there is some possibilities, though, that we need to look at. So let me show you in a diagram real quick what we're looking at, and that way it's going to kind of help throw this into place a little bit more for you. Okay, what we're looking at here in this chart, courtesy of Gensol, gensoldx.com, is we're looking at the probabilities of breeding our Bernese Mountain Dogs with either the SOD1A or the SOD1B. And again, just like I mentioned, we have clear, carriers, and at risk. So it's one of those things where looking at this diagram, we have no mutation and the mutation, okay? So of course, the first one here, we're looking at A by A, okay? So just being, clear. So, again, we're looking at the male, say the male's on the right and the female's on the left. Both of their genes are clear. which means they would pass down to the puppy clear, clear genes, and that's great. Again, we're looking at the genes, and so if you have the SOD1A and the SOD1B in the mom, okay? So say the mom is a carrier of the SOD1B, and then you look at the father, okay? So now the father, again, is clear of the SOD1A, but is also a carrier of the SOD1B. So if you look at a funnel coming down, we're looking at the puppy, there's a good chance they're going to be a carrier of the SOD1B gene because both the parents are also carriers. So as we farther down, we look at the probabilities where, say, the mom is clear, so she has no mutations of SOD1A and or SOD1B. But if you look at the father here, we're looking at the A by B. We're looking at him being clear of the SOD1A, but a carrier of the SOD1B, which produces the chance for these genes to be passed along, and there's a 50% chance that they could either be clear or be a carrier. Okay, and so that's definitely something to look at if you are breeding Bernese Mountain Dogs. So again, let's get a little bit more technical here. Okay, we are looking at the predicted chance of a puppy having these results. Okay, so again, things can vary, and we're just trying to get this the best guess that we can. Okay, so going down the list a little bit more as we get more technical with this. Okay, if we look at the mom, and so say that she is clear of the SOD1A, but she has the SOD1B gene. Okay, so now she's passing that along, so there's a 50% chance that that's going to be there. Okay, so then if we look at the male, and the male, if it has both the SOD1A and SOD1B, then there's also that chance that it's going to be a better chance. Okay, so going down to the puppy, you're almost a coin flip. Okay, it's almost a coin flip if the dog is going to be, a carrier or possibly, more, could be at risk, So, and as we go further down the chart, okay, so if the mom has the SOD1A and SOD1B, both carriers, okay, and then the father has both SOD1A and SOD1B as carriers, then I would put my money on there's a good chance that the puppies could be a carrier for DM. And again, that's something you don't want to mess with. So if you are a breeder yourself, get these tests done. I'm a breeder myself, and as a reputable breeder, I'm just giving you the keys to the castle. It's one of those things where your adopting families need to know this stuff. And these tests are so inexpensive, okay? Ginsel even has test, specials all the time. So you can do all your dogs at one time, and they're super fast, like seriously, like within just a day or two turnaround time. I mean, their technology is amazing. They'll send you a certificate. And if you're on Burner Guard like I am, you can just upload that information. And so that way you can show your potential families, like, look, I get these testings done, okay? And again, DM is a nasty disease. It's something you don't want to mess with, okay? So, look at this as like you're doing a favor for somebody. You're saving their heart from potentially having a burner with DM. And I've had people come to me and they've told me about the horror stories they've had from breeders who don't do these things, okay? So I'm talking to you person to person. It's important to get these things done. And so you can go to gensoldx.com, or you could just probably Google search Gensol, Gensol, or again, go to gensoldx.com, so gensoldx.com, and look at the canine genetic testings. And again, they have all sorts of breeds, okay? So again, if you're watching this and you're like, well, Chris, I don't have a Bernese Mountain Dog, that's great. You can look at, the other breeds that they do carry as well, because this is going to, again, it's going to put you at a higher level against other breeders, because again, puppy buyers and, adopting families are getting smarter by day, and people like videos like this is educating people why canine genetic testing is so important. And so definitely make sure you do that for your dog. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick diagram of how this really helps so that you kind of see the bigger picture of how this goes. So again, your mom, the female, she has two genes, just like the dads have two genes, okay? So what we're looking at here is how the testing lines up, okay? So say you have a stud dog, okay? And maybe you stud your dog out, or maybe that dog is for your breeding stock and your, breeding practices, It's one of those things where I don't want to say it's like a chess game or something, but you need to coordinate who's a carrier, who's clear, who's at risk, and things like that. Because that way you can determine, to the best of your ability, what you're looking at for the puppies, the probabilities that, how they're going to line up. Okay, so here's another great chart from GenSoulDX.com. And what we're looking at here, so if you break it up, okay, so we're looking at knowing the SOD1A and the SOD1B, the results. These are kind of going to help us quite a bit. And this is what's scary, okay? So when you look at, this, for example, okay? Say you only test for one, okay? And you don't do both, genes or both mutations. Then you really are, the facts are unknown, okay? So if we know the facts, okay? So we know that, the mom and the dad are both clear of SOD1A, or if they are carriers and one's clear, and we know the genes, then this is going to greatly help us and kind of know how these things work. Now again, as we look at these things, we can look at, the probabilities in terms of, if you're breeding a clear to an at-risk, if you're breeding a carrier to a carrier, a carrier to clear, what you're looking at, and things like that. I mean, this is going to really help you kind of understand how to go forward with your breeding practice. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit of how this whole DM thing works. Because again, if you have, say, a Corgi or German Shepherd or something, okay, you can do the SOD1A for the DM, and you're going to know the results, Where with a Bernese Mountain Dog, it's a little trickier because of the hierarchy of, where they came from and where they were before they became an official breed, okay? So if you look at their history, we're looking at, where they came from and how they got to now, okay? And their genealogy and things like that. So it's one of those things where when you test your dogs, if you truly care, test your dogs, okay? And then you'll have a bigger picture to know where you should proceed, okay? If your dogs are clear, like mine are, then you know that, the potential of having an at-risk puppy is, I think, is very slim to none. Again, that's me just, I'm not a doctor, but, when I've done my testing, my dogs are clear, my puppies are clear, and it works out great, okay? Where it gets a little, the water gets a little dirty a little bit and kind of shadowy is where you start getting into carriers and carriers, okay? That gets a little crazier, okay? So if the mom has SOD1A and SOD1B, and the dad has SOD1A, but it's clear of SOD1B, that kind of starts getting things a little complicated. And that's why it's important to do these genetic testing, so that way you kind of can lay all the cards on the table to kind of understand what you're working with. So again, if you are a Bernese Mountain Dog breeder or you are in the industry, okay, this is very important. You need to make sure that you get your dogs tested, okay? So again, you might be saying, oh, Chris, where do I go to get my dogs tested? I can't take my dogs, 3 states away. That's great, because you can order your test kits from GenSoulDX.com, and they're going to ship your testing kits right to you, okay? The testing kits are amazing. They come with everything you need. You do a cheek swab, okay? So you swab your dogs. The testing kit comes with everything you need. Comes with simple instructions. You put down your dog's information, the AKC numbers. They have instructions on how to swab your dog's mouth, and then, after you swab your dog's mouth, you let it dry a little bit, tape it up all nice with the special ID code tape that they send you, and you send it back. And then within search, like a day or two after they receive it, you get your results emailed to you. Okay, and again, then you could take those results, turn around, and send it to BurnerGuard. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you probably know what BurnerGuard is. And that's going to, again, it's going to take you to the next level. You can tell your adopting families, like, hey, look, I get my dogs tested, and that stands out, compared to other people. So again, make sure you get that tested. And if you say, well, Chris, I got 5 dogs. What do I do? Well, that's great, because typically, Gensol has some amazing specials all the time. You can even get on their email list to get future specials that they have coming in. But I'm going to help you out today, okay? So when you at checkout, if you type in the code BURNER2017, so again, BURNER2017, you're going to save 10% off your entire order. Now, this is minus shipping and handling or taxes or anything like that. But again, you're going to save 10% right off the top, and that's going to help you get started with this canine genetic testing. It's so important if you are a breeder, okay? And again, you want healthy, quality, happy puppies, and that's what's important. So, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video if you like to get more information about dog breeding, and also, check out what I have going on with my Bernese Mountain Dogs. I definitely appreciate it. Make sure you check out my website, BerneseOfTheRockies.com. Also, make sure you check out my friends at GensolDX.com.